Divine Feminine, this is your reading and this is the Awakened Jenn. Alright, so this is a continuation of the twin flame reading that I did this week. And I've already gone into the Divine Masculine and gone just a little bit deeper. And so this one is to go in a little bit deeper from what we pulled from the Divine Feminine. And so with that reading, we got the Nine of Wands. And I will put a link up in the corner here, wherever it shows up. I'm not quite sure. But I will put a link to the twin flame reading. So go back and see what I've already said, because this is just taking it deeper from where we've already gone. Alright, so before we even get started, I want to set some intentions. I am setting the intention right now that everybody that needs to hear this message will hear it and receive it. I'm setting the intention that I will be given the right words, the right metaphors, just everything needed, that I will be able to speak clearly, that the words will flow through me just exactly the way they need to come through in order to be received with the highest good. All right, all the messages coming out for the highest good. All right. So, like I said, we're going to go a little bit deeper with this card right here that was the current energy of where the Divine Feminine is right now. So this is the Nine of Wands. This is someone who has got, their defenses up. They're ready to go. What I pulled out before was that this was about you're on your last stand, your final push. So you're not quite through all of the obstacles yet. You're definitely not where you want to be yet, but you are definitely on the right path. So you need to just keep going and have the resolve, and just knowing that, even when you still see the troubles popping up, it does not mean that you're on the wrong path. All right. So we're going to pull from a few different decks. We're going to start by pulling a card from my Lightworkers Oracle to ask the question, what message do I need right now that's going to help me get through this final push? Get me through these final obstacles that are still in the way. So what message do we need for that? And then we're going to pull some cards from the Black Moon Astrology. We'll pull past, present, future to kind of get a progression of what you've got going on right now and where you're going. And then I'm going to pull a couple more cards from the Lightseers Tarot in order to just get a little bit more clarification about this card right here. So it's all focused back on that, but we're just getting a little bit deeper information from it. So again, if you have not watched that video yet, the twin flame reading that I've done this week, go back, find it up in here, and I'll also probably put a link to it down in the comments too, just to make sure, not the comments, sorry, the description, just to make sure that you can find it, because I do want you to watch it, but then this is your deeper level in, okay? Alright, so we're going to start, we'll start shuffling the Oracle. And as I said, I've already set my intentions for how I want this to go. And I was really pleased with the twin flame reading this week. And the only thing I wanted to add was that remember that the masculine and feminine energies are also within yourself too. And so all of the advice that was coming out in that, you've got to make sure you've got the union inside of yourself first before you can ever expect the external union to come. So watch that video with that in mind as well, if you're not quite as far on the path as you might want to be yet. All right, deep breath. All right, so what message does the feminine need right now? What is her best advice for getting through this final push? Message does the feminine need right now? All right. So we've got the 6th ray of devotion. Okay. Okay, go to the Black Moon astrology, pull the past, present, future. Deep breath. All right, past, present, future. Too many. All right, try it again. Past, present, future. We need the past. What's going on with the feminine in the past? Going on with the feminine in the past. Okay, we've got Jupiter, abundance. Okay, there's some growth and expansion happening in the past. Present. Right, we've got the 11th house, friends. All right, and we need one more, future. Okay. We've got the water element of sensing. Okay. And then get a couple of clarifying cards for 9 of Wands. So I just want a little bit more information about what this final push looks like for us. Like in what way, in what area. Okay, deep breath. So give me 2 more cards for clarification of what this final push is. Okay, 2 cards came out. So we've got the 6 of Pentacles and the 7 of Cups. Okay, so I'm just going to say right now, and they both came out in reverse, but what I think is a little bit funny is that this was the masculine's card in that reading, in the twin flame reading, but it was like this. But there was also a card that was representing the feminine that showed up in reverse in the masculine's reading too. So that was kind of there's something there, but I haven't put that together yet. But there is something there with that. All right, so we've got the 7 of Cups, 6 of Pentacles in reverse to clarify that card. And which, that being obstacles, that kind of makes sense that those would come out with some resistance. All right, so we're going to start with the Lightworker Oracle. We got the 6th ray of devotion. All right. The 6th ray of devotion bestows the qualities of persistence, unwavering focus, and intensity of feeling. It is a gift of strength to move mountains with your will for what you love. When the 6th ray of devotion appears, you are being given guidance that even if you do not seem to have much worldly power right now, the power of your beliefs can conquer obstacles. And remember that this card is giving us the message that we need most for overcoming those final obstacles that are in our way. The Archangel Uriel helps you receive the blessing of the sixth ray now. You are receiving a blessing of the sixth ray of devotion. It is serving your soul growth and will help you develop faith in your principles and trust in the power of your beliefs. If you will be able to recognize and appreciate the extraordinary strength within you and realize that you have enough willpower to keep working towards your dream. Keep going. Overcoming any obstacle until you are divinely successful. The sixth ray reminds you of the power of love, which can conquer anything and everything. Love is empowering. Love is an empowering and motivating force. Where am I at? Far stronger than fear. Love is the foundation of authentic spiritual devotion. Devotion to the divine empowers us to bear burdens, overcome obstacles, and manifest all manner of beautiful visions in a world that may at first assure us that our dream is not possible. The sixth ray blesses you with spiritual stubbornness and sacred rebellion against any odds. The challenge with the sixth ray is not to become so anchored in your beliefs that you become fanatical, judging others because their beliefs are different. You can be unwavering in your adherence to your belief system and yet honor the fact that there are as many paths to the divine union as there are people, that the ways the universe calls you home to love are unlimited. If you do not honor this, you may try to pull people from their own path, which can create unnecessary struggle for them and unnecessary karma for you. The best way to honor the blessing and minimize the challenge of this ray is to share your truth with an open heart and an open mind. Share without agenda. For those working with this energy, the power of mind and emotions will come into focus. You may need to channel your emotional and mental power into worthy projects or practice balancing your intensity with lightness of heart and playfulness so you don't become harsh or despairing if things appear not to be working out the way that you believe that they should. Then your faith can remind you that love always finds a way. When Archangel Uriel connects with you, a tremendous power, the power of the earth, is brought to your aid. Uriel brings healing energy and an ability to cause real effect in your physical world with your mental and emotional power. Remember, you are here to shine your light. Others can choose to use your light to see by until they are ready to discover their own inner light or not. It is not anything you need to worry about. Simply live your truth, trust in your heartfelt beliefs, and devote yourself to love. Finally, as the sixth ray has a special connection to religion and love, you are asked to hold the healing power of love in your heart for all of those who are evolving through a life experience involving religious practice. This can help counterbalance the judgment and fear that exist in the hearts of many towards religions that are not their own or that have been the vehicle through which abuse has taken place. Religion on this planet at this time needs love, support, and encouragement to evolve, heal, and grow in whatever way ultimately serves the divine love. The invocation: I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the sixth ray of devotion and its blessings of will, strength, purpose, and miraculous power of loving belief. I invite the genuine, unconditionally loving masters and archangels, including Uriel, Christ, Mary Magdalene, and Mother Mary, to assist me and all beings on this earth in integrating the blessings of the sixth ray of devotion. I choose to keep my mind open and my heart soft. My willpower and my actions are true. May kindness prevail and passionate idealism be tempered by mercy for the greatest good. So be it. All right, so I do think that that was a good connection with what this message was. The final push, the last obstacles that are in our way. And so this is telling us to keep going, that we have what it takes to get through these obstacles. Let's see. And it is through our spiritual path that, we're going to be able to do that. One of the things that I kept kind of feeling from all of that is it was just reminding me of the path that I have taken in my spiritual path. And I've deviated a little bit from where I started, and I know that that concerns a lot of people. So I have kind of pulled back from organized religion, but I haven't pulled back from God. I haven't pulled back from Jesus. I have a different understanding right now than what I did just a few years ago. But what I am feeling so heavy right now is I do feel the intense judgment for having walked away from the path that everybody else was going, the path that looks like, this is the way, because it's the way everybody's going, right? But I got called to take a different path. I got presented with some new information, and I know that my spiritual path now, my spiritual life, and I was always an extremely spiritual person. Even when I was fully involved in the organized religion, I was all in. Because it's always been about God to me. It's always been about my connection with God. And once I saw that there was a different path for me, once I saw that there was a different way that I could connect, I have connected now in ways that I couldn't have gotten to on the path that I was on. And I don't look down on it. I don't regret it. It was part of my journey. I had to take that. I had to take that path in order to get me here. But I will tell you, the biggest difference about where I am at here versus where I was at there is what it was talking about in here. Is that I am not trying to convince others that this is the way that you need to go. Now, when I was in the organized religion, that was exactly what I was doing. And yeah, I did kind of have those moments of feeling sorry for people who didn't share my same truth. Okay, I apologize. I apologize for any hurt, shame, guilt, judgment that I caused anybody. I mean, I think that most people can understand that that definitely was not my intention. That wasn't where my heart was. I only knew what I knew to that level. And so now then, it's also asking us on this other side that if that's where we've come out of, it's still not okay to look at those people and be like, oh, if they just knew what I knew. They are on their path. They are where they are supposed to be. I know for a fact that when I was on that path, you could not have told me anything that was going to get me off of it. That was my belief. That was my belief system, and I put my whole heart in it. You could not have gotten me out of it. There was only one way to have changed that course, and it was God. God came to me. God came to me and provided me some different information. And that's called the spiritual awakening. And maybe one day I will share more about that experience, but that would be too long for what I'm trying to do right now. But that's what I'm saying, is when that happened, it was God only that could have provided the information that would have changed my mind. When I was in that path, you weren't going to change my mind. And it does remind me, so if you do have the religious background, especially Christian religious background, the story of Paul, Paul was all in for his Jewish, tradition. He was all in. He was the full enforcer. But once he had a completely different experience, basically he had his own little spiritual awakening right there, where he met Jesus and he couldn't deny that. He changed overnight. His whole beliefs, everything about him changed. And yes, the outside world was kind of like, ooh, should we trust this? Should we trust that he really... Something huge happened to that man. The rest of the world could see it. But since they didn't personally experience it, they didn't really know what to do with it. So all they could do is view it from their own perspective. The only thing, the experiences that they've been through, they couldn't see it in any other way. But did that change him in his passion and no, he was fully convinced, and he was going to let them do what they needed to do. He wasn't, now he did for sure try to convert. And that's, like I said, the difference of where I'm at now. I'm not trying to convert people. My messages are for the people who are already on the path. My messages are for the people who are coming up behind me. I am giving out what I needed at that time, but I am not trying to convert people to a whole new belief system. You're either already on this path or you're not. So that's what I really got from that, is I'm not going to... If I'm facing obstacles of, just opposition for my belief system, I'm not going to argue that. I'm going to let it be. Just the agree to disagree. So I guess that's what I pulled from that. That was what was all kind of coming in for me while I was reading through that, and I felt the need to share it. All right, let's keep going. This is going to be long. I'm sorry. All right. So, moving to the rest of the reading, we've got the past, present, future. And the past, we've got Jupiter. So, Jupiter. Yes. Here we go. The lips of the wise are as the doors of a cabinet. No sooner are they opened, but treasures are poured out before thee. Akhenaton? I have no idea who that is. Alright, expect doors to swing open. And remember, this is in your past position, so this is where you've been. Expect doors to swing open. By far the largest and most magnanimous of all the heavenly bodies in our solar system, in the Roman pantheon, Jupiter was referred to as the king of all gods. Jupiter corresponds to the Greek Zeus, the Norse god and the Norse god Odin. Because Jupiter is so vast and expansive, this planet is the gate opener for better luck. The earlier Greeks called the planet Jupiter Phaethon, which meant the brightest star. Because of Jupiter's immensity, it is one of the easiest planets to see with the naked eye. As the ruler of Sagittarius, the centaur, Jupiter has a dual role of being half human and half beast. The planet Jupiter casts off more heat than it takes from the sun, and thusly the giant planet is one of generosity and joyfulness. In astrology, it is the great benefic, the soother of hurts and bruises, and promises a period of good fortune when hard luck is coming to an end. Similar to Saturn, Jupiter can represent the father and what you inherited from your father. When the energy of Jupiter enters your reading, you can be assured luck is on your side and fortune shines on you. You're being given not only a gift, but a lift, if not divine help. Blocks are being removed as you wield influence through your own positivity and goodwill. This is certainly an astrological lucky break, but you won't be able to kick back and rest on your laurels. Instead, you will be required to attend to what you set into place and keep the positivity and attention flowing. You must continue to nurture the energies to the projects or events you have started. Otherwise, they could fall into entropy or decay. When it comes to providence and fortune, there is always a payment due, some toil or sacrifice on your part, so do keep this in mind. You are on your way, just don't neglect things or become lax in your endeavors, which are traits of Jupiter as well, meaning the possibility of taking important matters for granted. Because Jupiter can make you feel happy and complacent, you may have to watch out for weight gain or for other ways you indulge yourself and others. It is important to keep a watchful eye and not skim over the details in any matter. Since Jupiter is strongly tied to the law and ideas of fairness, you may find your opinions and convictions rather strong at the present time. Jupiter is represented by largesse, so try not to become overbearing, as this attitude could sabotage all you worked for. If you feel at the moment you are in a dark period of time and you have drawn the Jupiter card, be assured blessings are on their way. Doors are opening with generosity and in faith. It is time to walk through them. The Jupiter card gives you a positive spin to any reading. Keep this in mind regardless of the surrounding cards. So this goes with the Wheel of Fortune, and the key ideas are change in luck, fortune, high ideals, sense of purpose, the strength to go on. Okay, so with Jupiter sitting in the past position, we may have been experiencing a time of big growth. That's what I saw immediately when I saw that card. It's just in our past situation we've spent with big expansion taking place. And going along with what I was talking about with the awakening, if that is your story too, then that would make a whole lot of sense, because that's huge expansion happening at that time. So in the present, we have the 11th house, which is friends. So let me see what we have there. Don't walk behind me, I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Anonymous. The three graces of hope, faith, and charity, the bonds of friendship, rely upon support from friends and other associations. Don't attempt to go it alone. You will need help. So right now, you should be building your support system, is what I'm getting just right away. The 11th house is all about associations and how we connect to others. It is the house of group alliances, ideals, and our aspirations in a public and social arena. The 11th house is commonly referred to as the house of friends. But it is so much more than that. It has everything to do with the collective that comes from the groups, people who identify and align with each other to make social change. By combining our energies with others, we can make our world, but more importantly, the domain of others, a better place. The 11th house has much to do with our destiny, what we decide to give before we leave this earth, our soul's purpose. The 11th house deals with the greater good and living up to an ideal. The 11th house card says we are not in this world alone, and that it is time to aim higher and go among the broader society to work with others or share energies. It's not a good time to work on your own. The support of allies and others and other groups are necessary. The 11th house points out how we are distinct. It is a reminder that we are unique among our groups and friends. When this card turns up in a reading, the focus is on friends, what groups you belong to, and who you associate with. To achieve your objectives, pulling your resources with those of others who may be necessary. There will be changes in your friendships and associations, or possibly you may be able to achieve an important goal or desire based upon who you know. It represents a collective creativity. A friend may have the very information you need to further advance your cause and goal. Or it can be through the friendship of lovers or spouses that will allow you to attain your dream. This means you are to hook up with the right people at the correct times. Now it is all about the people you know and what organizations you associate with. So, it's all about placing yourself in the right places so that opportunity can show up. Even though it's a fortuitous time to join a class, a club, a society, or a group, it is also important that you be a standout. Others will support your individuality. Sometimes this card indicates the sudden appearance or disappearance of an old friend. The 11th house is also the house of stepchildren or children who belong to your lover. Issues involving such children may arise. Look to your surrounding cards for the meaning of the issue. The appearance of the 11th house card means the collective, those who support you as friends, but can sometimes indicate open enemies and rivals. It could just be a spirited competition between you and another, bringing out the best in both of you. But in the end, what works out is what works out best for all. So it is not a good time to serve your needs only. It is time to be a comrade and give consideration to friends. So this corresponds with the Three of Cups, which is all about, I've said it before, this is like your soul group, your soul family. I see it, this is your people are coming in. Key ideas are sources of help, alliances, groups, friends, the black sheep of the family, goals, hopes, wishes, and dreams. And so right now, again, like I said, it's all about placement. So in our past, we were really expanding ourselves, our lives, just in a personal kind of way. But now then, it's asking us to start bringing in our support system. So that's, and through our support systems is how our other opportunities are going to start showing up. Okay, so our future placement is the water element of sensing. It's 142. Okay. Your intellect may be confused, but your emotions will never lie to you. Let matters flow. In astrology, the element of water represents our emotions, our talents of the imagination. Water characterizes the realm of vision, taking us into the quintessential depths of feeling where intuition is more appropriate than acquired wisdom and knowledge. We get carried away on water. We have feelings of floating or being adrift over water. When looking at the shimmering surfaces of water, we cannot see to the bottom. But we know and sense what is there. Deep things too obtuse and transitory to explain. Fathoms of moods and insight. Water is the element of the signs Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. The planet planets of water are the Moon, Pluto, and Neptune. When the water element card presents itself in a spread, you can trust what you feel as the best course to follow. So trust your intuition. What you are sensing right now may not be based on any logic. It's just what you are sensing it's just that what you are sensing is correct. Right now, it's best to go with the flow, and depending on the card surrounding it, to trust that movement, although these changes may seem gentle and gradual. So we're going to trust it and go with the flow. Sometimes the water element card indicates a need to withdraw and fight another day. It is time to gather resources and gain strength before moving ahead. This card at times can indicate trusting too soon or the passive acceptance of other people's shortcomings when you shouldn't accept them. You may have the tendency to want to allow things to pass you by without fighting for them, to let go of something that is rightfully yours. Water is the element of compassion and understanding, but avoid being a doormat. It is possible people or forces may take advantage of your benign and accepting nature. That is definitely me. This is a good time to imagine, write, paint, play, and create anything, since water is the element of the imagination. It is the ability to quiet your conscious mind and allow yourself to be taken over by an idea or a dream. Water is painting, poetry, and music. This card represents being connected to the flow of all things. It is also the ability to keep a secret or to work alone in privacy. It is probably best to now allow people or circumstances to not pin you down or hem you in. Frankly, you now have the ability to flow or drift out of any situation in the way water is able to move around any obstacles very gently. So that kind of brings us back to our obstacle where we're at right now. We're on our final push, right? Currently, you may also have the feeling of floating or being adrift. In a sense, it is a type of surrender. Maybe it is the surrender to a dream. At present, you may have a little energy and want to withdraw. You are in fact doing a lot of inner processing, which will take you where you want to go. There are deeper levels working and developing inside of you, but the work is not seen on the outside. Expect a pause, but forward motion soon. Look inward. Don't worry about the drama that surrounds you. Avoid commotion. Sit still, float, and trust your inner wisdom. It will not steer you wrong. So again, this card, let's see, it corresponds with the Ace of Cups. So that's a new emotional beginning. So we've got the key ideas are emotional nuances, a trip across water, lack of energy, sensing what is accurate without being told. So just strong intuition coming in. So just looking at the progression here that I pulled, we started off with Jupiter, where we were growing and expanding ourselves, and then we're currently in the process of building our relationships and support systems around us, and then we're moving into the water element of really trusting our intuition and using that intuition to help move us through the obstacles ahead. Okay, so now then we're going to move to the two clarifying cards that came out. So we've got the Seven of Cups in reverse, and that is feeling blocked by indecision, fear of making the wrong choice, and overwhelm. And the question was, give me a little more information about what this final push is about. So this is what I'm seeing, is that right now you just kind of feel blocked because you don't really know what to do. You don't trust your intuition yet. and you're just kind of overwhelmed because you're just afraid you're going to make the wrong choice and everything's going to fall apart, right? And so the other aspect of this was the Six of Pentacles in reverse. So let's see what that one is. That is one-way flow of abundance, over giving or over receiving, hoarding or holding on to what you have, choosing not to help, being uncharitable, selfishness, ulterior motives, inability to accept help. Okay, so what I'm really getting from that is lack mindset. A lack mindset that has you really afraid to use your resources because you're afraid that they're going to run out. So the thing, that final push, the obstacles that are in our way right now is this scarcity mindset that there's just not going to be enough. There's not enough money, there's not enough time, there's not enough energy, there's just not enough. It's scarcity mindset. Plus fear of making the wrong decision. Hold on just a second. Sorry. So yeah, we've got the final blocks that are holding us back, and like I said, they came out in reverse, so that does tell me, you know, that's the resistance showing up. Sorry, got a tickle started. Is our scarcity mindset. We've got to release, and we've got to figure out how to feel safe and know, you know, have the confidence that you're going to be taken care of. And usually that comes from just looking at your past. There are many, many times in my life that I really did not think that I would, I was going to be able to have enough to make it. I really didn't see my way out, but yet every single time God has provided. Every single time that it felt just completely hopeless to me, I can look back now and I can see that God never let me down. So if he hasn't yet, why would he start now? And then the fear of making the wrong choice. This goes in so well with what I was telling in the twin flame reading for the masculine, because this was his card in that reading. And it is so do go back and watch that, because I'm making sure I'm going to put the link up here somewhere, and I will also put it down in the description box. But make sure that you are watching that, because that advice is for you too. Is for so I don't want to, because this has already gotten long, but go back and watch that, because that advice is for you too. All right, I think that is a good place to stop, and I think that we've got a good idea of where we're at right now and where we're headed, and you know, we've got, you know, good progress in place. You know, so let's just stay strong and start working on letting go of our resistance. All right. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, share with whoever you might think could benefit from this, and leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I try to post videos daily, so check back and see what else I have going on. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.